said, I am so jacked up sideways. I've seen this lady from afar, know her, talked to her husband quite a bit, but never one-on-one with her a lot. But I tell you what, she's amazing. I hope you guys got your seatbelts on. Here we go. Miss Jenn, let me tell you a little about her. She was formerly owned a fine arts a school. She's been an ACN for a little under 10 years. She's been a top producer from the moment she joined our company. She's been featured in Successful Home Magazine 3 times. Wow. She's been an RVP for 2.5 years, thousands and thousands and thousands of customers. Woo-hoo! She's a great mother and she's an amazing wife. You saw her husband yesterday, Mr. Angel. She's a student of success and she's a social media master. I mean, this lady knows how to do it. Without further ado, from Canada, Miss Jenn Carmona. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Mr. Thomas, for having me on the call. Before I do jump into anything, I really just have to say how grateful I am to you. I remember the moment that we hit Regional Vice President, you were one of the first 5 people that called me personally to congratulate me. And I don't remember everything that you said, but I do remember this one thing is that you told me not to stop doing what got me there and keep going, that RVP was just the beginning. And so I really love that you, from that phone call, yes, you called me to congratulate me, but at the same time, you were ready to push me to another level. So I appreciate that. And that's how I know that I'm in the right environment. And I'm going to talk about that today. The reason I know I'm in the right environment is because I have people like him in my corner saying, great job, but there's another level that you can go to, not just keeping me there in a comfort zone. So thank you so much for having me on the call. I'm excited to share things that have worked for me in ACN and my story. And most of you probably don't know my story, so it's very, very simple. I actually grew up dancing since I was 3 years old, so I had like a big passion for it. I was being groomed to dance in music videos, go on tours with some of the biggest artists. And so I was working with the SVPs of dance, and they were grooming me to basically pursue that career. And I also owned a fine art school at the same time. So, I was 21 when I opened up the dance studio, and I invested over $100,000 into that business at 21 years old. It was crazy. My parents were totally against it, but I said, I'm going to do it anyways. And I made money, but the problem was with owning a traditional business was it literally owned me. I know you've heard that on calls where business owners have said, oh, I own a business, but really it owns me. Well, it's actually, there's so much truth to that, because even though I was making $10,000 to $12,000 a month running the school, the problem was I was also working 12 to 20 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week. So when you actually calculate it, I was actually making less than minimum wage. So it was a cycle I knew I couldn't continue to keep going through. And of course, at the same time, I didn't know if I was going to look for an opportunity, like where would I even go? Dance is all I know. So ACN was totally off of my radar. And I actually got a call from a friend, actually a text back then, or a BBM, because we had Blackberries back then. And she basically invited me to an ACN presentation, didn't do it properly, didn't use a script. In fact, I didn't even know I was going to see an ACN presentation. She said she needed my help with something. And the meeting was actually in a church basement. So I was kind of skeptical. Why am I meeting this lady here? I walk into ACN presentation, didn't even know that they were selling services because I walked in late to the presentation. I just saw at the time, ACN cost $499 to join. So I walk in and literally the person at the front of the room is asking for $499. So I was upset. But as soon as they went into the compensation plan and started talking about residual income, talking about how to have time and money together, those feelings, those ill feelings, they quickly dissolved right away, because I knew that this is something that I was praying for. So, was able to hit the position of regional director within a year and a half. And from there, Angel and I have just been building this side by side. And, we're free. ACN has really allowed us to have that mindset to take control of our finances, take control of our life. As you all know, we have a daughter. She's just about to be 3 months. We haven't really missed anything. We've been there. And I realized after having a child, ACN became even more valuable to me because the fact that I could work from home, not have to miss any important milestones, and just be there side by side with her, watch her grow. So it's been amazing. And today, what I want to actually talk about is recruiting. Just to piggyback off of what my husband talked about yesterday. How many of you guys thought he did such a phenomenal training yesterday? It was amazing, right? And I want to just piggyback off of and springboard off of some of the stuff that he talked about. But, when you're talking to people, because he talked about having posture. Now, just to go dive deeper into it, you've got to talk to everybody that you believe that everyone needs ACN. Whether they believe it or not, you can't control that. But if you go into it the mindset that everybody needs ACN, your posture will be a lot different. Now, here's why I say that everybody needs ACN. Doesn't mean everybody's going to want to do it, but I believe that everybody does need it. So can you agree that if you go in with the posture or the mindset that you believe that everybody needs it, you're going to talk to them with a different attitude, right? You're not going to be scared to talk about them. You're not going to shy away. So just by a show of hands here for all of you that have your cameras on, how many of you are mad that someone invited you to an ACN presentation? Now, hands up if you're grateful that somebody invited you to an ACN presentation. Exactly, right? Now, can you agree that whether you're a new IBO, you're under 30 days, you haven't made your first check yet, or you're a veteran on this call like Mr. Julian Lewis, Mr. Brad Kish, Mr. Al Thomas, Mr. Angel Carmona, where you've made multiple 6 figures, multiple 7 figures in ACN. Now, can you agree, no matter what, every single one of you has become a better human being just because you're in ACN, right? Now, that in itself is worth $199 and $25 a month. Can you agree? Because there's people out there that are paying hundreds, even thousands of dollars just to get mentorship from people that are at the level like Mr. Al Thomas. So you got to understand this. Everybody needs ACN because most people, they need to make additional income. Not everybody needs to, but most people do. But can you agree there's space for every single person to become a better human being? And that's what ACN can bring to somebody. I know people that have gotten into ACN, they didn't succeed or get right to the top, but because of the stuff that they've learned, they were able to apply it in their job. They were able to apply it to their life, and they were able to thrive in other areas because of that skill set. So this is Life University. ACN is literally Life University. Now, if people don't think that they need it, you can't control that. So I want you to understand, you can never control if they want to do it, if they believe that they need it, you can't control that. But one thing that you have to know deep down is that you did your part. You have to know that you did your part. You have to know that people are going to be okay, you have to know that people are going to join you. And then there's people that are not going to join you, but you have to be okay with both. You can't get hung up. You can't get too excited, and you can't be too low when somebody doesn't want to join. So you're in full control all the time. Always focus on what you can control, which is the amount of people that you talk to. Okay. Now, even while obviously I've been looking after my baby, and that has been my focus. That's why we work so hard in ACN, so that we can enjoy these moments, right? That hasn't stopped me from being able to get some outreach done, still getting 25 DMs a day to new prospects, even though I have a newborn. It hasn't been an excuse as to why I can't do something. It's the reason why I now need to do it. Okay. Now, here's what's going to happen if you don't talk to everybody. And if you're new on this call, you've got to talk to the people that you know first before you start prospecting online and talking to people that you don't know. Cold market is not something that you want to stay in. You'll be miserable if you stay there. You want to work with your warm market first. Why? Because you have a relationship. There's trust already. So that's like more than half of the work done. So here's what happened to me. I ended up joining ACN through somebody I didn't know very well. She was actually best friends with my best friend's sister. And the only reason we connected was because we had one crazy night. We went for like a bachelorette party in Vegas, right? Who knew that was how I was going to get involved with ACN? She connected with me. You know, she grabbed my contact information. That was that. She stayed in touch with me. And after she just had reached out to me about ACN, I didn't even really know her, but it was the timing in my life. I just said, I just want to change in my life. I'm so sick of where I'm at that whatever she needs help with, I just want to go help her out to switch up my day. Remember, I had no idea it was even about making money. So I joined ACN. I get a call from my friend best friend a week later. And she said, hey, I heard that you joined ACN with Joyce. And I said, yeah, did you want to join too? I was going to talk to you about it. And she said, no, I'm already in. And I was like, well, how long you been in for? She's like, oh, I've been in for about 2 years. I said, so you've been in this thing for 2 years and you never invited me. She's like, well, I didn't think you would do it. And I said, well, why not? She goes, well, you're always busy. You know, you're successful, you're already making money. And I'm like, and I told her, and I said, listen, this is what's going on. You know, my relationship with who I'm currently with, it's just on the rocks because of this business. You know, I'm bleeding money. Yeah, I'm making money, but just as much as it's coming in, it's going out even faster. So I'm literally pouring sand into a bucket that has a hole in the bottom of it. And I really needed something else. So she was so shocked. She couldn't even believe that I joined because she prejudged. I was her best friend. And I ended up joining her sister's best friend's team, and she missed out on a regional vice president. Imagine if she didn't prejudge, right? Imagine if she didn't prejudge. Imagine if she actually just put her ego aside, you know, stop prejudging, and she didn't play God and she gave me that call or that text, right? Because remember, I showed up to a presentation not even knowing that it was going to be a presentation. I just came to help somebody. But when I saw the information, and that because it was the perfect storm and it was the timing in my life, I grabbed it right away. I literally signed the application. I remember at the meeting, and you know, the lady that invited me, she said, so what did you think of it? Here's my form. It's got the credit card information. Meet up with me tomorrow because I have no idea what we're selling, but you got to explain exactly what it is that we're doing. But I love the fact that you guys have residual income because that blew my mind. So you've got to talk to everybody. You've got to talk to that person that's on your list. That person that you don't want to talk to is probably the person that you need to reach out to today. So you've got to also understand that when people are saying no, as Mr. Les Brown says, you know, you've got to understand that no has to be your vitamin. The more of those that you get, the better you get. So make no your vitamin. You've got to go out there and collect as many no's as possible, because the more no's that you get, can you agree that you're getting closer to a yes? I know this is very basic stuff, but guess what? We got to go back to the basics to build the business. So if you're new in the business, like I said, you've got to go through your warm market first. You know, when I joined the business and they said, make a list of everybody that you know, I literally did that. I literally made a list of everybody that I knew, and I did not leave one stone unturned. When people were asking, well, how did you do it? You were working 12 to 20 hours a day. How did you become a regional director and, you know, have a full-time business? Well, the reason why I was able to do it was because I wasn't thinking about it. I just knew what to do. They said, make a list, contact them, get them in front of me. My leader was saying, get them in front of me. I'll do all the talking. I said, are you serious? They said, yeah. So I did that, and checks started to come in, and I had no idea why these checks were coming in. All I knew as I was inviting people, getting them in front of my mentor, I was literally leveraging him, but I didn't even know at the time that I was leveraging him. I was just following the system. And so you have to get to the point that, you know what, are you being really coachable? Are you jumping on these calls? Are you implementing anything that, you know, Mr. Al Thomas is talking about, Mr. Julian Lewis is talking about? Did you implement anything that Mr. Angel Carmona is talking about? You have your hand raised up, Mr. Carmona. I'm not sure what he's saying. Okay.
I think you asked a question earlier, and that's what the hand came up.
Okay. Got it. Okay. I love everyone's interactive here. So, you know, you just have to get to that space where you are truly coachable. Now, here's the test. If you are really truly coachable, have you contacted every single person that you know? Not every single person that you talk to on a normal basis, but every single person that you know. People from your childhood, people from elementary school, people from high school, people from an old job that you were working at 10, 20 years ago. Did you contact those people? And if the answer is no, then can you agree that you're maybe 99% coachable and that 1% is stopping you? So 99% in ACN is equivalent to 0%. Does that make sense? Because it's not 100%. So what I do want to talk about, though, is social media and how we were able to actually wrap up regional vice president, because we did that before the pandemic. So I know everyone's utilizing social media now, but we were doing this 3 years ago because we just saw that this is the way that everything was going. And, you know, we wanted to make that pivot. And, you know, I remembered it was 4 years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, I was challenged by a gentleman by the name of Mr. Brad Kish. I think he's on here today, regional vice president. You know, basically kind of calling me out in a nice way. He's a nice guy, so he wasn't going to do it in a rough way, but basically saying, you know, what are you doing in your comfort zone? What's really going on in Vancouver? You know, Cleveland is where it's at. You got to come out here and you got to build, you know, planting that seed. So I had a few conversations with him, and then there was a bunch of different signs that were aligning for me to go out to Cleveland. Mind you, I've never built in a marketplace outside. Actually, I did LA, but that's not too far from Vancouver, so I didn't really feel out of my comfort zone. And mind you, I lived in LA for years because I was in dance and I was pursuing. So I even had a place out there. So I needed to go somewhere where it was like unknown. I had no distractions, and we didn't have the luxury of just getting on a Zoom meeting like this. So he challenged me, I remember, to go out to Ohio, and I went out to Cleveland, kind of showed me the ropes, you know, showed me the areas. And then from there, I was, you know, on my own. And I didn't know how I was going to build a team. Didn't know I have any contacts there. The only contacts that I had in Ohio were people that were already in ACN. So there was no getting them as a customer. There's no getting them as an IBO. And I have, you know, at the time, Angel and I were, we were dating secretly because we didn't want to distract people with our relationship. We're not about that. We wanted to make sure that when we were going to get married, that's when we would make the announcement that we were together. I was telling him, you know, you need to come out to Ohio. I was so blown away by just, you know, the opportunity there. And I saw what the teams were doing, and I was like, I want to be a part of this. So I literally called him, and he was supposed to join me in a month, but within 24 hours, Angel packed up his car from Miami to Cleveland, and he joined me in Ohio in 24 hours. We didn't know how, we didn't know anybody, we didn't know how this was going to happen, but we knew that we were going to make it happen. And one of the tools that we really used was social media. While he was prospecting belly to belly, I decided that I was going to prospect online. Now, do any of you guys want to know how I was able to do that? How we were able to throw some gasoline on the fire? Okay. So one thing that you have to do on social media is you have to make sure that your profile looks professional. Now, you don't want to post everything about like business. You want to show that you're a human being too. You don't want to look like a robot. You know, you can post things about family. You can post things about outings with friends, not the ones like that happen in Vegas, right? But the outings, like, you know, that you're out at dinners with friends or that you're traveling, whatever the case may be, and basically just show that you're a real person, because people don't like to be sold, but they do like to buy. So if you can set up your profile where people are buying into you before they even know what the opportunity that you have is, they'll want to join. That's the point of your profile, is that it should look so good and tailored to basically make people want to join you before they even know you have an opportunity for them, or before they even know what ACN is. Now, here's what you can do to, you know, make your profile professional. Is obviously your profile picture is basic stuff. Posting stuff about lifestyle, as far as, you know, going out with your friends, you know, spending time with family, and then also posting motivational things, because we can agree, especially right now, there's so much negative news out there. You know, you open Instagram, you open Facebook, there's all these media outlets that are just trying to pour negative stuff in everybody's minds. So how can you stand out and stand apart from everybody? Is by posting positive things. You don't need to feed into what we know that it's happening, and we're aware. We know that we have to be cautious, and, you know, we got to wear a mask, and we have to stay 6 feet apart from somebody. We know all of that. However, we don't need to breathe life into it. We can actually be a beacon of light for people online, and just by you being positive, people are just going to want to join you, whatever it is that you're doing. I can't tell you how many times Angel and I have had people that have just messaged us and say, hey, what do you do? Like, you're so positive. I just want to be a part of what you're doing. I can't tell you how many times Angel has actually put people into the business and they just wanted mentorship from him. So they paid the sign up fee just to be around him. So that's what you have to create. Now, it might take some time, but once you create your profile and it's a recruiting machine, then you're ready to go and you're ready to start doing the outreach. This is for cold market. But remember, again, if you still have warm market, shame on you. You shouldn't have any warm market. You really, really need to genuinely be able to say, I've talked to every single person that I know about ACN. You might hear me say that a million times on this call. I don't care. I'll say it over and over again. You must talk to everybody that you know. I can say that confidently because I have talked to every single person that I know about ACN. Every single person, because I know that when they say no or the timing's not right, they see that I'm still in the game. They see that I'm still building it. Guess what? They're going to come and join me when the timing is right in their life. And it's happened many, many, many times. It's happened many times, okay? But once you get to that point where you want to add fuel to the fire, you're ready to take a lot of no's, because you will get a lot of no's. You will get a lot of messages that are just read, but no reply. You can't control that. Remember, we can't control that. We can only control the amount of people that we talk to or reach out to. You want to basically reach out to people in a way. Now, I don't know what script people are using, but would you guys like to know mine so that it's something that you could possibly use? Okay. So I don't say anything about opportunity. I kind of tweak words. The main words that I use is successful, collaborate, expand, open. Now I'm going to read you the script and I'll tell you usually how it goes. So I'll say, you know, hey, Julian, came across your profile and I saw that you're a successful entrepreneur. I'm looking to collaborate, share some ideas with other ambitious entrepreneurs, and I'm looking to expand business. Just wanted to know if you'd be open to chat. Now, here's why I do that, because network marketing, everybody has shifted to online. So I started getting DMs from people in other companies where, number one, they don't follow me. So I don't like that. When people don't follow me and they try to recruit me into an opportunity, offends me. So I follow people first because it shows that I take a genuine interest in them. So before you send a DM, this is just my suggestion. You don't have to do it. Yes, definitely. I will repeat that. So what I will do first is I'll follow them. I'll like a few of their posts or pictures. This is the same for Facebook or Instagram, to show that, number one, I'm genuinely interested in who they are. And I'm recruiting cold market. So I'm not looking for the, the slob that's sitting on his couch all weekend, or the person that's, smoking weed with his friends on the weekend. I'm looking for people that look sharp. I'm looking for people that have the good business card, because if this is cold market and I can choose who I bring into my team, you better believe that I'm going to go after the best. So when I say the script, hey, Julian, came across your profile. I saw that you're a successful entrepreneur. If you came across a nurse, you would say successful nurse. Remember what Mr. Angel Carmona said yesterday? He said, talk them up, because then they'll be the ones like, no, I'm actually not doing that well. I'm looking for something else, right? So came across your profile. I saw that you're a successful entrepreneur. I'm looking to collaborate. So it's not like you're getting them in, but you're looking to partner, right? That just shifts everything for them. And I'm looking to share some ideas. Now, sharing some ideas is not aggressive. It's not shoving something down someone's throat. Can you agree that if someone said, hey, I just want to share some ideas with you, you'd be pretty open to listening, right? And I'm looking to expand business. So I'm intentional, or I'm being upfront. I'm letting them know that I've got something, I have a business, and I'm looking to expand. But instead of making them feel like they're just some number, I'm letting them know that I'm looking for partners. We're not looking for just people to sign up. Are you guys looking for partners to join your business to help you expand? Right? It's all your perspective on how you look at the opportunity. I just wanted to know if you would be open to chat. And then I say, have a blessed day, Jen. So I send about 25 of those a day, Monday through Friday, those go out. And what happens is the responses that I get, they're pretty positive. People are like, hey, thanks for the message. And if it's a no, it's actually a really nice no. They'll say, I'm currently too busy at the moment, but thanks for reaching out. I wish you all the best. And I'll say, hey, no problem. What is it that you do? And is there anything that I can do to help you promote your business? Why? Because now I'm in and I'm building a relationship with them. I'm not DMing people expecting to recruit them and turn them to a IBO right away. I know that might take time, but I'm now on their radar. So if you're not on people's radar, how are they even going to know exactly who you are and what you're doing? Because if people don't know you, they can't flow you. So it's very important to put yourself out there every single day to people that you don't know. So I'm going to say that script one more time, because I know that like some people, I might have said it too fast. So, hey, Belinda, came across your profile, saw that you're a successful entrepreneur. I'm looking to collaborate and share some ideas with other ambitious women, and I'm looking to expand business. Wanted to know if you'd be open to chat. Have a great day. Have a blessed day. However you say it, put your own spin on it, but still nowhere in there did I say ACN, 199, we get paid on services, none of that. Now, if they're open, then great. What's my approach? I just get them on a Zoom call or send them a video. There's so many tools at our hands right now that you can do an exposure just like that. We literally right now in this time can do a month's worth of work, I believe, in a week, because everything is online and everything is automated now. So moving forward, maybe try that approach once you're reaching out to people. Now, when people say no, like I said, I don't unfollow them. I'm now building a relationship. If I really want them on my team and I think they're going to be a great asset later on, I just keep engaging with them. I don't just give up on people right away. You have to build relationships, right? How many of you do business with people that you trust? Now, if somebody's not doing business with you right away, don't take offense to it. They just don't trust you yet. You've got to build that trust. That's the other part of it. And then the other thing is, that I wanted to talk about is there's companies, obviously different companies out there. And, I've seen the way that some IBOs in one company will treat other IBOs from another company, and they're fighting and they're having a war, right? And I just look at it like, ACN doesn't teach us to be like that. This is one of the classiest companies. There's no founders like ours. There's no leadership like ours. Like from head to toe, this company is just world class, right? And so I remember actually, was it 2 weeks ago, one of my business partners, one of my RDs, he sent me a video of a company that's, supposedly thriving right now. And basically their CEO got on an Instagram live begging everybody, and he looked like he was terrified. He looked like he woke up to bad news. Okay, his hair was messed up and everything. And he was saying in the video, he was begging his leadership to stop with the lifestyle claims, posting the cars, the watches, all of that kind of stuff. Stop flaunting, because it was getting them in big trouble. And it sounded honestly like they're about to get shut down. So there's another company, I guess, that's competitive because they kind of sell like the same product or service. And they got in there, they're like, oh, come over to this company before it shuts down. We'll welcome you with open arms. Just really rookie stuff. I can see Julian there just shaking his head like he's already disappointed, right? He knows how this goes. And you know what? I said, okay, this is an opportunity for me to put myself on all these people's radar. I'm not going to say what everybody else says, trying to bash, but I went on there and I said, because everyone was talking about like, shut the scam down. It was crazy. When I went on there, I said, the moment that this company gets shut down, it's a sad day for the entire industry. Why? Because that's when the industry starts getting looked at, and we don't want any company shut down. We just want them to comply with the law. So let's pray and hope that this company and their IBOs get it together and they start making positive changes to meet with compliance, because the feds are all over them. And guess what happened? The leadership of that company, right? Their leadership, they call them chairman. They started messaging me. Some of them followed me and said, hey, thanks so much for getting on there and saying that. I'm seeing how people are attacking each other, and we really appreciate, what you're doing. Hey, by the way, what company are you with? I said, oh, I'm with ACN. Oh, really? They started sending me videos of ACN trainings that they watch, right? Because they're inspired by some of the leadership. But guess what happened? I'm not expecting to turn them into IBOs, but I wasn't shutting their company down or saying anything. But when the time comes, people will be looking for another opportunity. Now, because I didn't go and shun what they're currently doing and talk smack about them, they're just going to remember me for being classy, for basically not even trying to recruit them. And they're going to be looking for a new home, because I realized that, why would we want another company to ever be shut down, guys? People's hopes and dreams are wrapped up in that opportunity. We would never want that for anybody. And when I shared that and I got that out there, people just automatically got attracted to me. So I will get into those conversations online, but I'll never say what everybody else is saying. I'll say something to stand apart from everybody, because long term, what that's going to do is putting more people in your pipeline. It's putting more people in your pipeline that you can talk to. That's why it's impossible for me to stop doing ACN. That's why it's impossible for Mr. Carmona to stop doing ACN. Why? We're just always getting people in the pipeline. We just know that they're not going to become an IBO right away, but when the time is right and it's a perfect storm, just like when I got started, they will get started too. So just understand, on social media, people are going to perceive you as your page looks, as your profile looks. So really clean that up so that you can make sure that when you are doing the outreach, people are receptive. Because if they see your page and you're not active at all, like you don't have any posts about, your family, your personal, your professional life, then they're just not really going to answer you, because they're going to say, well, this person doesn't look like they have anything going on. So set it up for success. Now, what does that all matter if you're not in the right environment, right? You've got to make sure that you're in the right environment. We can talk about the how-tos all day, and all of you really know what to do. We talk to people, we get them to see the presentation. They want to join, great. They don't want to join, we get them as a customer. If they're not ready to do both, we put them on a follow-up list. That's it, right? It doesn't really matter how you do it. I just shared a way that I've done it, because that way actually finished us to become regional vice president, right? There was a lady, and I do want to share the story, because I was posting on social media. She reached out to me. She said, hey, what's the business that you do? I was in Vancouver at that time. Angel was in Cleveland. And I said, hey, go meet with my husband. She showed up. It just happened that Mr. Kupis was doing an event in Cleveland, and she signed up, and she helped us put in the last 800 customers to finish regional vice president. Why? It came from social media. It came from her just asking me what it is that I do because I was so positive all the time, and she needed that in her life and she wanted to be a part of it. So again, where did that come from? It came from me being in the right environment. In order for me to be innovative, I have to be in an environment. Ask yourself this: are you in an environment where others are ahead of you? Right? I know on this call, I'm on a call with others that are ahead of me. Are you continually being challenged? Are you being forced to grow? Is the conversation always talking about in the environments that you're in? Is it geared towards having your focus forward? Are the conversations affirming? Are you having those aha moments all the time where, oh man, that conversation was for me, it really spoke to my soul? Are you having that? Are you waking up excited every single day? Are you in an environment where failure is not your enemy? It's okay to fail here. We're all going to encourage you to keep going. Are you in an environment where others are always continually growing too? If I am around people that are not growing, my God, I feel like I'm sick. Like it just makes me depressed. Like I cannot stand to be in an environment where I'm not growing. And are you in an environment where those people, the people that you're around, are always desiring change? Also, are they always taking ownership, right? Are they living in expectancy? So, I don't know where everybody is at in your business, and I don't know what your goals are, but I do know 100% that you do want to be better. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on this call. We can agree. So you've got to live in that space of expectancy. Like, what do you want out of ACN? Do you want to become a regional director? Do you want to become a regional vice president? Do you want to become a senior vice president? Now, even if you don't see the money in your bank account yet, or you don't see it in your back office, that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. But you also have to put yourself in situations where you have to make it happen. I'll give you an example. So I obviously just had a baby, gained some weight, was shopping online, and I didn't buy any clothes that were the current size that I'm at. I bought all my clothes to pre-pregnancy, even smaller, because I am expecting to look better than I did before I got pregnant, before I had the baby. I'm not going to buy into the whole thing of, oh, I just had a baby. It's my excuse, right? So the clothes came in. Angel brought them all to me, the other day. I tried them on. I was like squeezing into them, and I'm like, okay, I got work to do. But I put myself in that situation because I am expecting, right? And all of a sudden just started dropping more weight in the past 3 days because my mind is set to that. So I can't fit in those jeans yet that I bought, but I'm expecting to, so I know that I will. Your back office might not say regional vice president yet, but that's okay. You just have to be expecting that you will be. Because when you expect and you live in that space, you will start attracting the mentors, the people that you need to finish you or finish that part of your journey and help you go along to that position. But if you're not thinking about it and you're not focused on it, chances are those people that you need to help you get to that position are not going to come into your life. Those mentors that you need are not going to step into your life and give you the coaching that you need. A lot of the mentors that I actually have in ACN, I didn't necessarily, go and seek them, but they just kind of ended up on my radar because I was focused on the right things. That's why we have friends and mentors and leaders that have stepped into our life because we were focused on the goal of regional vice president. We were focused on the goal of becoming financially successful, financially free. And so therefore, the right people came, they played their role because we were focused on it. Because we all know this, that whatever we focus on is going to expand. Whatever we focus on is going to expand. And something that I want to challenge everyone to do as well, just before, I end my portion here, is get yourself also, like, this is great. You need to be on these calls because I really believe that you need to You need to know how to do ACN. You have to surround yourself around people that are doing ACN. However, we can't recruit anybody on this call. Is everybody on the call here an IBO, right? Or a customer? Sure hope so. You have to be a customer, your own customer. So I strongly suggest go jump on some mentorship calls, or there's a bunch of free stuff where you can meet people online, because those people can't be those people aren't in ACN yet. So therefore you'll be able to actually bring them into the business. So expand, get out of your comfort zone. You know, that's why I'm always on my page, I'm posting free calls that people can take part of, so that, you know, they're networking calls, so that you can go and meet people. I want to be on ACN calls all day, every day, but guess what? I can't recruit anybody that is in ACN already. The only people that I can actually bring into the business or get as a customer is people that are not a part of that. So I challenge you as well. You know, there's different things. Like I think Tony Robbins, he just did a 5-day challenge. It was free. Didn't cost anything. Not only are you growing, but you can meet other people, right? And you can find out what their pain points are and why they would need an opportunity, right? It's your opportunity to go out there and sell the problem that you can solve, but not the opportunity. But you can't do that here in this environment, even though we love it because we all have the same vision. You can't do that here because everybody's in. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. I don't know if we want to answer or have a question answer, but, you know, I'm willing to do like 5. Yes, that's right. This isn't just a club. Definitely not, right? We don't make money in clubs. We definitely don't. But if anyone had any questions,
Al Thomas here, real quickly. Could you, everybody, real quickly, could you repeat the conversation you had when people, your first conversation you had with people when you interact with them? I think a lot of people are trying to take that down and write it down, and I know they get it. And also, everybody, you can always go back to the channel. We'll post a channel. We'll post it later this afternoon, Mr. Bree Clemens. You can always go back to the channel and watch this to its entirety. And therefore, you could, in your comfort of your home, could write it down yourself. But she can go over that one more time, but go to the channel, Destiny International, and rewatch it. We'll post it in a minute, but go ahead, dear.
Okay, awesome. So just going to say here, Hey Angel, came across your profile. I saw that you're a successful boxer. I'm looking to collaborate and share some ideas with other ambitious people. I'm looking to expand business, and I wanted to know if you'd be open to chat.
Okay, one more time because they can't write that fast.
Okay, got it.
They're writing it down.
Mr. Thomas, someone has already typed that in the chat, so they just have to go to the chat and copy and paste it. That'll
perfect.
Having to repeat.
And whoever did that, God bless you. Right. So I'll just read it one more time, right? Hey Angel, came across your profile, saw that you're a successful entrepreneur. I'm looking to collaborate and share some ideas with other ambitious people. I'm looking to expand and wanted to know if you'd be open to chat. That's it. So simple. And I can't tell you, it's opened up so many conversations, and I've made friends from it. Sure, they might have not became an IBO or a customer, but I've started building a relationship. But what are we waiting for? It comes down to the timing in their life. That's it. Putting more people in the pipeline. Do we have any other questions? I'll take a few. Anything that I can help you with? You can unmute. Oh, okay, Brian, see this one. Brian, I'll answer this if you have some food ready for me. How have you been able to just being a mom, business owner, take care of your personal self-care needs as a woman? Okay, that's a great question. So first thing was, the first month was actually very overwhelming. I'm not gonna lie, I actually had some moments where I just broke down, and it was motherhood was like a lot harder than I thought. I just thought because I was always really good at being on my grind, that motherhood was going to come easy. And once I had Angelina, it was just, I have this whole human that's 100% dependent on me, like for every single thing. So I had some of those moments where I was frustrated. So just for anyone that, has kids, If you're having those moments, it's okay. It's normal. Don't be so hard on yourself. I'm still adjusting myself. But some of the things that I was able to do was, number one, I had to talk to Angel. You know, we wanted to make sure that ACN was not neglected. We wanted to make sure that we were still taking care of the team, that we were still doing presentations. And obviously, because there's things that I can do that he can't, which like things like breastfeed, he can't do that, right? That we decided that he would do most of the trainings, that he would do the presentations, and he would take care of that until I could get into the swing of things, until I could get to know my baby more. So it was having that plan with my partner. So that was number one, right? The second thing was I had to write down my goals, because although motherhood is one of my dreams, I still have other dreams that I want to accomplish. And I really believe by me going after my dreams, that's going to inspire my daughter. You know, she's not going to see it as, oh, I'm taking time away from her. I can't tell her what to do, but I can show her what to do. And if she sees that from a very young age, then she's going to see, like, my mom built this, and she's just going to do what I did. And so I wrote goals, so I knew that what I was going after long term. The other thing that I did, honestly, Brian, was I did have to make time for self-care. So something that, you know, Angel and I talked about was like, I had to go and do things to make me feel good, because I don't want to come on a Zoom if I'm not feeling good about myself, and I'm not going to deliver, because when you feel good, you do good. If you don't feel good, you don't do so good, you know? So what I did was there would be just maybe an hour here where I would go a lot that time to go get my nails done. There would be a day where I'm just going to go on a walk with my baby, but guess what? I'm going to go put the makeup on. I'm going to just do what I need to do to feel like really good, because that's going to vibrate. And remember, this all ties in when you're reaching out to people, when whatever you're posting on your profile, it all connects really, all in all. And so I did those things so that I could feel good. And really, it's not about time management, but it's just about doing more, a lot of, how can I say, like, efficiently. Like if she's taking a nap, I'm like, oh, this is my chance to reply to my DMs from my leads. Like, I know I got a good solid 15 to 30 minutes. She's going to wake up. Now I can choose to sleep at that time, and I'm not going to lie, sometimes I do. But there's going to be a time of the day where she's going to nap again, and I'm going to reply to those DMs. So it's just really all about, like, you make time for what's important to you. And so it's really important for all the people or women on the line that are, you know, just wearing all these different hats. Number one, you got to know what's important to you, because when you know what's important to you, you're going to commit to that. And when you know what you're going to commit to, you know exactly what you have to go after.
Thanks,
so
Jen.
That help, Brian.
And you know, I got food for you, Angel, and the baby.
Thank you. We're going to come visit you soon with the baby. Also, what do you suggest if you have issues making phone calls? Can you message friends and your warm market as well, so many people don't answer the phone? Yes, definitely. You know, before I would have probably shunned somebody for sending a message or a text, but hey, it actually works. And I tested this. I actually had an IBO. She wanted to get back in the game. You know, she was finished with school. She said, what do I need to do? And I was like, this is perfect, because, you know, she went to university. She probably met a whole bunch of new people since she went. I said, you need to have a PBZ, so private business Zoom. And she goes, what? I go, this is a script that you're going to text to people, or you're just basically going to invite people. So I said, but you got to do it to everybody. She invited 60, 32 got on the Zoom. It was all by text. And I realized then and there, like, sometimes, and I learned this from Mr. Mike Cupis, he's like, you just have to remove the pressure. Sometimes people don't want to make the phone call, but they have the contacts. Well, I started thinking, how can I remove the pressure? Well, if I can just remove her making the phone calls, and I can still have her do outreach some way, somehow, as long as she's not explaining the presentation, what do I care how she gets someone if it's by phone call or text? I just need people to see the presentation. And I always have those aha moments when I go back and think about something that one of the founders said all the time. Like when Mr. Mike Cupid said that. He said, remove stumbling blocks, remove anything, just remove the pressure from people. I started thinking, okay, why is this business partner of mine being resistant? Well, where are they feeling some type of pressure where they don't want to contact people? Well, some of them just are scared to make a phone call. So guess what? That's okay. You know, I don't expect you to, but I'm looking for the person through their network that is not scared to make those phone calls. I realize, hey, this person might not be the way, but they can be the doorway to the way. And so that's how I work with people. If they're not comfortable with making phone calls. And then guess what? Once they start getting results, they're comfortable making phone calls because they believe in it a little bit more. Does that make sense? So I just kind of see where somebody is at, and then I decide, okay, this is the route that we can go. The person is comfortable making phone calls and that's how they want to do it. Great, make the phone calls. But a millennial, they might not want to pick up the phone and make a phone call. You have to know, remember what Mr. Carmona said yesterday, you have to know who you're speaking to. What is their language, right? So a millennial, like I said, they're most likely not going to want to make the phone calls, probably 90% of them, but there's somebody that might be comfortable making a baby boomer is more comfortable doing a phone call rather than texting because they're still figuring out how to text. Does that make sense? Right? So know who you're working with, talk to your business partners, even where are they at, you know, but your goal is what? Don't make it so complicated. It's to get to the next person. If you can get to the next person, you're in. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to focus on. What is a general timeline you have from adding someone on social media, liking their post, and then starting conversation same day? Why wait? You know, like I said, I'm letting people know that I have an opportunity. People want you to be upfront on social media, but it's just the way that you go about it. You know, they just don't want to feel like a number. So I do it. I let them know that I have an opportunity right off the gate. If I can have a conversation with them right away, then, you know, and I get them in a presentation. I know some people are like, oh, don't message right away, make it seem like you're busy. But for me, I'm working with, you know, I have a newborn. I don't have time for all that. I just got to see if you're open, then let's get you on a presentation or let me send you a video. What do you suggest if you don't get a reply from people on a DM after a day or two or a week? Oh, here's another one. That's a great question, Sergio. Something that I actually do is, you know, if I see somebody hasn't read my or they've read my message and they didn't respond, I'll maybe reply like a week later and I'll give it another shot. I'll say, hey, say that I see that you saw my message. So go ahead and write this down. So I see that you saw my message. I know that we're all really busy and sometimes might not have time to respond. I know that we're all really busy and sometimes might not have time to respond. I just wanted to follow up and see if it was a better time to chat. And believe it or not, some people are like, hey, thanks for getting back to me. I really was just busy. Now, I probably just do that once. And then after that, if they don't answer, on to the next. That's it. So hopefully that helped. I'm so shy, people inviting people on the phone. Do you have a script for inviting through text? Oh, you need me to repeat. Okay, let me repeat that first, and then Maureen, I will get back to you on that. So what I actually say is, hey, I saw that you saw my message, because right, you can see that if they on the thing if it says seen or read. I understand that everybody's really busy and we might not have time to respond, but I just wanted to follow up and see if it was a better time to chat. But I just wanted to follow up and see if it was a better time to chat. And believe it or not, some people are going to go back and be like, hey, yeah, thanks for following up with me. It is a better time to chat. And we've actually recruited some of those people in our business. If I didn't do the follow-up, then they wouldn't be in, right? I think, you know, I learned that it's like, especially if it's cold market, it's like people aren't going to join you or really engage until there's like 7 touch points, you know? So you have to continue to engage. add them, like their photo, comment on a post, message them, let them message you back, message them again. Then that way you're building the relationship, because remember, what it comes down to is trust. Does the person trust you? Now, I didn't even trust the person that I joined because I didn't know her that well. But here's what I did trust. I trusted the partnerships that ACN had. So when I saw those the next day on the slide, I was like, okay, I trust this, because I realized that we're doing business with major companies, and there is no way that they're going to align themselves with something that wasn't, that had good intention. So I knew that it was a great opportunity. It always comes down to trust. It always comes down to trust. Either people don't trust you or they just don't trust themselves, but it always comes down to trust all the time. And inviting people, do I have a script for that? Really, the script is just, it's the same as the regular invite. It's no different. It's no different. Like, trust me, guys, the more simple that you can keep this, the easier it's going to be. Like, it takes a genius to keep things simple. Keep it simple. It's not rocket science at all. So the script that you're using with your leader, keep using that. The first thing that I would do is just clear the time with your friend. Hey, what are you doing at this time? The time that you have a presentation, so that you can even know if they're available, or even ask them if they say they're busy. What did Mr. Carmona say yesterday? He said, could you clear your schedule? So they feel like this is important. And also, do you find people on groups that interest you? And if so, do you peek them right away? No, sometimes I don't peek them right away. Sometimes I do. Again, it just really depends on what's going on in my day. But on groups, I definitely do find other people. That's why I was saying, like Tony Robbins, he just did a 5-day challenge. They usually have a Facebook group whenever they do a free challenge. And they have over 50,000 people in there, over 100,000 people. Like, there's so many people that just go on there and share what they're looking for and share what their challenges are. Those people are just they're just seriously waiting to be recruited into an opportunity. What modes of social media do you focus on? Facebook and Instagram are my two main ones. And I can answer maybe one more question before we wrap it up, and I pass it back to Mr. Thomas here. You can unmute or throw it in.
Hey, Jen.
Yep.
Hey, this is Julian. I just wanted to I wanted to thank you for sharing that, because what I've noticed is a lot of people, they don't realize that social media is just people. So it allows you to get to people, whether they're offline or online. They're people, and so they look at social media as this thing or an enigma. And I appreciate the way you shared it and kept it simple, because a lot of people are afraid of it, thinking it's a thing and not just realizing it's connecting with people. So Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And yeah, that's all it is. It is just connecting with people. And at the end of the day, I mean, once we get somebody in, we're not telling them to go recruit on social media. We're going through their warm market, their immediate, friends, family. We're back into the system. We're just using that as a tool to get us back in. Now, we don't stop doing that on the back end, but with the new business partner that we have, we're going to help them both build their business through their network. That's why this is called network marketing, right? We don't want to, Greg Provenzano said this before. He said that if you stay in cold market, you will be miserable. And I understood what he meant, because like I said, I said at the beginning of the social media portion of the training is, please expect no. Please expect that people are going to ignore you and people are going to say no. Why? Because it comes back to trust. So I hope this has added value to each and every one of you. If any of you has had a breakthrough moment, then I know that, I played my part, and I'm glad to be a part of that. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to you, Mr. Thomas. Thank you for having me on the call. This is my first training call after I had the baby, the very first one. So I appreciate you having me on here so much.